Hey guys, you're watching one and only. My name is AJ and we are back on another episode of Let's Build a Theme Park. Episode, was it 89? I think it is. I have spent a little time here building up a rough sort of coral reef. That's what we're going to do today. Last episode we tried this pink one. I like it, and we will do these sort of multicolored ground bits throughout the whole place. But you guys suggested to try and make the floor out of sand and then put the colours on that. And I really like that idea. So that's what we're going to do. I'm half tempted, well, more than half tempted to do like the whole thing, like up here all the way around this U and then down past the turtles that we built last episode. All with this sort of sand bank. I think it looks really, really cool, you know, especially when you're down on this level, you know what I mean? It's like proper ocean bed sort of style thing. But what we're going to do is we're going to add a bit of a coral reef here today. I was laughing. I showed my my girlfriend these fish, and she was like, "Oh, they're so cute. Yeah, I like it. They got the Nemo fish and the Dory fish, and she liked them." And I showed her the shark, and she went, "Oh yeah, I like the shark." And then we sort of realised, and we both sort of realised at the same time, and it hadn't really occurred to me before, and I haven't really seen anything about it in the comment section. But this is huge. These two fishes are huge. And that's a huge fish, and that's a huge crab, and that's a huge turtle compared to this shark, which is actually quite small. It might be that everything else is really small. I don't know. But imagine if I was standing on, like, you know how big a clownfish is? I mean, a clownfish is about the size of a goldfish. No, it's smaller, isn't it? It's smaller than a goldfish. They're tiny little fish. I can stand on its fin. I mean, if you had like 3 of these fish, it could probably take down that shark, no problem. It did make me laugh. And yeah, she commented about that. And I said, it's Minecraft. Everything's allowed in Minecraft. You're allowed to have huge fish in Minecraft. Nobody cares. Everyone loves it. And I think we all do. So, we're going to add some colours here to this coral reef. I'm thinking red. I'm thinking green. Obviously green for the seaweed. I'm thinking about some either yellow or orange. I think I'm going to go with orange because the yellow possibly looks too much like the sand. And then maybe like some purple in there. And maybe a little bit of white. Possibly with some brown. I've got an idea for the white and brown. But seaweed. We've done the seaweed before. We've done the seaweed not so long back on the, what's it called? On the octopus ride over there. And we came up with something like this. And we think that looks really, really cool for the seaweed. It's sort of, maybe with some wavy bits in it. Like this. That looks like seaweed. To me, at least, that looks like seaweed. I think we've got something going there. So we'll do a few of these. And then each colour is going to be like a different shape. So we're going to keep the same shape for each colour. But each colour is going to be like a different shape. Let's have like a little bit of a wave on that one. We don't want them too wavy. And then out here, maybe like, oops. Like that. Yeah. At the moment, they sort of look like cactuses, but they won't look like cactuses for long, okay? I promise. Let's let's try a bit of a different design on this one. We'll do something like that, and then we'll have one coming. Whoops, one coming off there. Like that looks pretty good, actually. Oops, like that. Yeah, I like that. Okay, so we've got like a few of those in. Might even add one at the back. And then we've got the red ones. And the red ones, I've been looking at pictures of coral reefs. So that's why I've chosen these specific colours, because they seem to be the most common. There seem to be a little bit of blue here and there, but we might add the blue at the end. But I stayed away from the blue because obviously our background is going to be blue. And we don't want things going into the background there. But the red ones are quite similar to this sort of seaweed in respect to that they're sort of pronged like this. But what we're going to do is we're going to do one up the center, and then we're going to have like 4 prongs or possibly 3 prongs on some of them off them. So, oops. So something like that. So they look a little bit different. They've got more prongs. At least one more. So that's got 2 more prongs than the seaweed, because there's 5 instead of 3. And then we'll do some that have just 4 as well. So you have 1 up the middle. Yeah, 4 total. So like 3 off the sides here. Something like this. It's really quite difficult to make it as random as possible, because in Minecraft you always want to try and keep all of the numbers even. Otherwise it can drive you insane. But for these seaweed, for these organic shapes, it looks better when they're not. You know what? I think I prefer having 4 off the red ones. I think that looks a little bit too seaweedy-ish. So I think we're going to actually stick with having 4 prongs. We'll have another one back here. There you go, like that. Wonderful. Okay, so there's those ones in. The next ones are the orange ones, and these ones are a little bit more compact. They're a little bit more like sponge balls, almost. Yeah, sort of like a sponge ball. So maybe if we do something as a base, I'm trying to build these in a way that everybody can really easily copy them for their own stuff. If it be they're making their own coral reef, or they just like the shape for a statue or something like that. So because these ones are like balls, I think we're going to do something like this, and then maybe come out on a couple of them. Like that. Maybe that one in the middle a little bit higher. Yeah, okay, so we're really starting to get some totally different designs. All 3 of those look completely different, and it's like a little trademark for each one, that they all have their own design. Okay, so how did we do this again? I need to replicate what I just done. It's not easy. Okay, oops. Yeah, I got it. I know what it is. And then we go those in the corners, 2 up on the sides, and then from here you can sort of do it however you want. So let's have that one come off that way, that one come off that way. We'll have that one come off and up that way, and then off the front, and maybe up like a taller one, like that. Okay, so there's the 3rd one, and then the purple ones here, I'm gonna try and keep to a minimum, like as few of these as possible, but they're very low. They're like they might even be just shells. They might just be shells here, but I think if we do something like that, so it's like a dodgy circle, and then put those on top, and that's it. They are, I'm pretty sure they're like a sort of they're a plant or a sponge, or what are they called, enemas. I remember Finding Nemo, he was trying to say it as well, wasn't he? Anemone. Yeah, I remember that. I remember him doing that. Okay, I don't want too many of these, so I think I'm going to put one more up towards the back here. And then that'll be it for those. And then the last sort of ones that I found very common and that stood out to me were these circles, these white, and they're sort of brownish reddish. I'm going to go with brown though. Circles, but these mostly formed on the side of rocks. So I think we're going to have to build a rock, like a tall rock. Maybe I could... Oh, yeah. Okay. If we do something like... I'm trying to build like a rock into the side of the mountain, in the side of what will be the wall eventually. So we need something like that. Yeah. Okay, and then we'll come up a little bit. I'm not going any further back than this. I don't want to go any wider than what we've got this sand here. And I can probably come out of the sand this way a little bit, but I don't want to make it too big, because we need to remember that we need to cover this up at some point. Once we've done the entire of the inside, there is going to be a point where we're going to have to put some sort of cover on it, some sort of roof. And the last thing that we want to do is make that really difficult on ourselves by making it very, very overly large. Okay, so for this rock, rocks are always tricky, especially when you're only doing half them, because you can't get a very good perspective of things. But I want it to be a sort of tall rock, which is why I'm sort of building it up like a very steep mountain, almost like a very steep Minecraft mountain. So I'm going 2 blocks up on some of them. I'll also be going 3 blocks high on some of them as well. I know at the moment this probably isn't going to make much sense because of the angle we're at. It will make sense in a minute if you just hold your horses. Hold tight. And then we'll come in again, up a little bit on some of them. Then in again. Trying to get the most organic sort of half rock as I can with my limited Minecraft skill. And then that way. Up there. So we're sort of slowly, very slowly built it up. And now we've got, that looks pretty good. That's like a face of a rock, isn't it? That you'd imagine it to be bigger than that. And then these are sort of similar to those, but they're dead flat, and they're all different levels. So I think what we're going to do is we're going to do 5 blocks out, 5 blocks out, and then 3 blocks, and then surround it with white. And that's exactly what they look like. And then what you're going to do is just don't do just 1, do a minimum of 2, okay? A minimum of 2, and do it 1 block. We probably have to delete that and place those there. And put 1 at a slight angle, okay? Something like that. And then they're almost like underground mushrooms on the picture that I've been looking at. They're almost like underground mushrooms. I don't know exactly what they are, but that's sort of what they look like to me. Okay, so we're going to have 1 more right down at the bottom here. In fact, I'm going to move this over by 1 so it stays away from that mushroom, that purple clam mushroom shell thing. Yeah, that looks pretty cool. Now, if you imagine we had another one of those rocks over there, like a taller one maybe, because I don't want the whole banking to be all at this level. I want it to be like at this level here, and then I want to drop it down quite flat here, and then build it back up again with the sand. Obviously, that's an off-camera job, and we're going to have to do the boring job of replacing all of the dirt as well, all of this grass, not dirt, all of this grass with sand. A minimum along the bottom. The trouble with sand is, right, which is why I built the platform for this off camera, is that you obviously can't build it like a, you know how we've done the dinosaurs or even the fish, they're hollow. You can't make like a hollow hill or hollow, like a hollow hill, hollow mountain, whatever you want to call it, with sand, because obviously the sand falls down. So when you do it, whenever you build anything with sand, you need to make the whole thing solid. Obviously, that was the dirt from the ground there, which takes a very, very long time, because that means you have to do a whole section of sand, then a whole section of sand a little bit smaller, then a smaller one, and it just takes forever. And there's no shortcut with sand. There's nothing you can do. You know, that you can't... There's no world edit here. It's been a privilege to be able to use World Edit for the Springfield Simpsons series that we've been doing. We don't have that privilege here on console, unfortunately. Every single thing has to be done by hand. You sort of get more of a sense of achievement from it, admittedly, but boy does it take a lot longer to do. I would much rather swap the sense of achievement for the ability to do it quickly. It just takes so long to do. But I know it's, again, we're only 13 minutes in. I was going to end off the episode, but I don't want to end it off that short. We've got a really cool thing going here. Maybe we build a clam. Let's build a clam. Let's not end off the episode yet. What colour did we make that last clam out of? I really liked that last time. Obviously, we've got jellyfish as well. We'll be able to build the jellyfish a little bit bigger because we've got more room over there. And I might make them out of ice because it's transparent. What did I build that out of? It looks like a grey clay, yes. Light grey stained clay. I like that. I also like the shape of that as well. If I could copy that over there but take the eyes off it, it would suit it really well. I really like that octopus as well. But I'm not going to build another octopus over here. I will build a realistic looking purple squid somewhere though. Maybe not next episode. I maybe want to go somewhere else next episode, so we don't keep doing the same area over and over again. But I am hooked to this area. Once I get building on something, like once I get an idea in my head and I go, yeah, I want to build that, I find it very, very difficult to put it down and to go and build somewhere else. You know, we were at the dinosaur park for quite a number of episodes, pretty much in a row. And I like to split things up as much as possible, but once I get this idea in my head, I just want to continue it. I am building this clam slightly differently because I don't want to do it the same. But I think what we're going to do is we're going to fill in this bottom here, because obviously this is the bottom of the clam, like this. And then we've got the red on us, so we might as well put some sort of tongue in here, like that, and like that. Is that white enough for a clam, or shall we use a block of quartz? That looks more like a pearl. Did I say a clam? I meant to say pearl if I did. Okay, something like that. Would that be better? I think that's going to actually look better. Oh no, it's raining. There's nothing I can do about the rain. I can turn the daylight cycle on until it gets to night time, or if it thunderstorms. This world thunderstorms an awful lot. You hardly ever see it rain without it turning into a thunderstorm probably around 10 minutes in. 10 minutes after it rains. Well then, maybe not even that long. 5 minutes in, something like that. It might start to rain. It's what usually happens with me when I'm off cam, whenever I'm doing something. But it does rain an awful lot here. It's a little bit frustrating, really. Okay, so then we want to build this same shape on top here. Completely different way of doing it last time, I know. But it's bigger. We've got more room, which is why I'm building it a little bit bigger. And to get the amount of detail that I like to get into these sea life builds, you have to do them big. You don't have a choice. The bigger you do them, the more detail you get in. The smaller you do them, the less detail you can get in. And in general, just the pooier it looks, in my own opinion. Okay, I'm going to drop these down. And then we're going to have to start building this out a little bit. It's the same sort of... It's a very similar tactic to the dinosaurs and the fish. Whenever you're doing this sort of organic shape, I always find it easier to, one, do it very slowly and symmetrically. So do a little bit on the left side, a little bit on the right. I know I mentioned that a lot, but it's so important. To me, it's so important. Otherwise, I just build it so wrong in so many places, and it takes me so long to then fix it. But there was another tip as well, but I've forgotten that tip because I got all tied up with that one. There was another tip. Bigger is always better, I suppose, with these builds. That's sort of a tip. You know, because you can just fit more detail in. Okay, I like that. I like the look of that. There. It's a little bit too, like, its jaws too open. We've got to drop this down a lot more. Something like that, but that's not the right shape anymore. Okay, I like that. I like that. And then one there. That's looking like a good shape. Yeah, I like that. I'm starting to like that now. But again, we're still too open. The mouth's too open on it, so let's try and close it up just a little bit. I like that. I like that. What would that be like there? Oh, I like that. It's crazy how much one block difference can make. That's a pretty good looking clam, though. I like that. I like that. What about the back? Is the back okay? If I done that, maybe? I like that. Alright, yeah, we've got a pretty good clam. Okay, I am going to end the episode off here. I know we're still a little bit short. Mind you, no, it's 19 minutes. We're doing fine. It's a normal length episode now. So, coral reef and clam done. That's really, really nice. I've got to put all the sand in off camera. That's going to take absolutely forever. This glass took long enough. But in some places, we'll be adding this sort of 3D coral reef. But then I was thinking, you know, we were talking about having the sort of blue wall to make it look like it's in water. I was thinking about possibly, like, building a 2D pixel art. Like, if we were doing the seaweed, for example, we would do something like this in the wall. I know that looks like a cactus. But something flat, okay, like that in the wall. And then the blue, just for the minute, right? The blue would be around it, like this. And it would sort of look like there's a little bit of depth to it. Obviously, we could even build it one block out as well to give it some depth. like that, and then have the blue behind it, just as it was, just so it makes it look like the ocean goes back further than what it actually does. I think we can do a few cool illusions with it. But anyway, guys, if you enjoyed it, hit that like button. If you haven't already, please subscribe. If you are interested in getting a official Z1 and only t-shirt, the link is in the description below. You can go and check out the shop. It's there for the UK people, people from Europe, and people from the United States of America. Really cool t-shirts. I have tons of my own, and I've been hearing some really good comments from the people that have already bought them. Yeah, links in the description for that. Okay, guys. Bye!